Hello everyone. So today I'm going to react to this video. Trampling USA Transport and President Shapiro he debate. So here's what I have to say about this debate. This debate was hard to watch because the guy on the right kept acting cocky. Like, this is a serious conversation. And the fact that he's smiling about all that while he's trying to ask a direct question, like, that's just messed up. He just has no values.
You know why we wouldn't be at war in Iran? She didn't even want to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you know why? Because she knows how corrupt he is. But Donald Trump does everything that Netanyahu tells him to do. You're a Trump supporter, right?
Yeah.
You happy with the Iran war? Is that a good thing?
No, I'm
Okay,
actually
good.
not. Yeah.
You happy with the president of the United States that says he's happy that somebody is dead? Mueller, who just passed away a few days ago, is a decorated Purple Heart recipient. Donald Trump, our president of the United States, goes on social media. And the reason why I'm raising my voice is because this really pisses me off. And I don't think there's anything funny about somebody who dies, who serves this country, and then the president of the United States goes on social media and says, quote, "I'm glad he's dead."
Well, Brian, would you show the grace to someone who wanted to prosecute you?
If somebody wanted,
do you
by
have
the way,
the maturity to
sure,
do
I'll
that?
answer that. So first of all, he wasn't prosecuted. There were no charges filed. There was an investigation. So you're categorically false on that.
So if someone
Number two-
investigated you,
number
you
two.
would show the grace?
Number two,
Okay.
never in my life have I ever said, "I'm glad that person's dead." Okay. Now, I certainly didn't do that with Charlie Kirk. That was horrible what happened to him. And I'm just surprised that you can't just say, as a Trump supporter, you know what, man, that was wrong. The president of the United States.
Okay, so this is what I have to say. I'm blaming people for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death because he did cause a lot of trouble. Like, he literally acted racist. And he literally acted like black people weren't that smart as white people. Based on what he said, like. But the thing I hate even more is the fact that people thought of him as like another Martin Luther King when really it wasn't like that. They're playing about people that should have gotten the dream that Charlie Kirk got after they died. Like Nancy Pelosi when someone tried to kill her husband. And
Probably shouldn't say it's good that somebody's dead because he tried to convict me of a crime. We have a process in this country. You can disagree with it, but we have a process.
Okay, let's play this game. Do you think Hunter Biden's antics in the White House detrimented anybody else?
What
our
antics?
country?
He wasn't in the administration. It's a good pivot that you just did. I think it's insane that you Trump supporters, with all due respect, can't just say,
because I'm 15 IQ, right?
it does. I never said you had a 15 IQ. Don't put
You
words
said
in my
Trump
mouth.
supporters
You're-
this morning
yes,
with the hat on.
I did.
All Trump supporters have
No.
15 IQ.
No, I never said that, and you're lying.
Let's
See,
roll the
yeah, I
tape.
never said that.
Okay, yeah, let's roll the tape. So this is important, everybody. Everybody watching right now. This is what so many people like this young man does. He misquotes people. Here's
Brian
what
likes to stereotype as well.
Here's what I did say.
Mhm.
Do you want to listen? Get the MAGA wax out of your ears and pay attention, okay? Because I will teach you.
I have
how
a
to
little
listen.
less wax
Okay,
than you do in
okay,
your ears.
Okay,
I
but
can
I have
see it from
but I
here.
have a higher IQ, and I don't lie like you just did. What I did
Because
say,
I have 15 IQ,
what
right?
what I did say was that his base of supporters, I believe, are ill-informed and uneducated, like you. And I will tell you why I say that.
I've known you for 2 seconds. How do you know I'm ill-informed and dumb?
Okay. Well, first of all, you've already said things about me and misquoted things about me that I didn't say. You're off to a really bad start. Number two, it's called compassion, which I'm not sure you have. Just because your excuse is the president of the United States says, I'm glad somebody's dead. And your retort to that is, well, he tried to prosecute him. So because every prosecutor out there tries to prosecute people, and if you don't like it, you think it's okay to be glad that somebody's dead?
I mean, you're lecturing
absurd.
me on compassion when all you're doing is attacking my character when I don't
You're
even
not
know
dead.
you.
You're
when
not
I don't
dead.
even know you.
Well, let me be very clear on this.
Well, here's the problem. What he doesn't understand is the paradox of tolerance. Like, why should we, like, again, you know, Democrats have already tried to play by the rules, and guess what? I guess just take advantage of them.
Okay. Anybody out there that thinks it's okay, and I'm going to make a big generalization, anybody out there that thinks it's okay,
we're going to assume
for the president of the United States, like you, to think it's okay to say, I'm glad he's dead, and instead of your response being, you know what, that's wrong, just like I would say, anybody who mocked Charlie Kirk's death, anybody who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, it's despicable. It's wrong. But here's the difference. These are idiots.
How about the team you associated with self?
Hold on. Let me answer, and then I'll.
They like to flip off.
Let me
signs
answer.
Of him.
I didn't flip off anybody. So,
I didn't say you did.
Okay, so be quiet and let me finish and stop interrupting me. Okay. Anybody who did that, anybody who mocked Charlie Kirk's death,
disavow your team right now.
Are you going to let me? Are you going to let me finish?
Disavow your team right now.
Are you going to let me finish?
Right here.
I'll answer your question if you stop interrupting me and being rude. Okay. Thank you. And then I'll answer. Well, because everything you.
Well, here's the thing. He was talking for that long.
Say is wrong. So anybody who
attention man
mocked Charlie Kirk's death, even though these are people on social media, a lot of idiots with like 10 followers, they're wrong. And I called that out. Just like I would call out Donald Trump for saying, I'm glad he's dead. You're not capable of doing that. Also, in front of Jack Posobiec today, I said that was wrong. Flipping off his sign was wrong. And guess what? Here's the difference between people like us and people like you. The person who did that admitted it and took it down.
Let's not spit, Brian. Let's not spit on the table.
So now I ask you again.
He didn't mean to. Jesus Christ. He didn't mean to.
Is it wrong for the president? And I've answered all of your questions directly. Is it wrong for the president of the United States to say he's glad that Robert Mueller is dead? Yes or no?
Wow, I finally get a chance to answer. Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's wrong. Same with Rob Reiner. I think as a Christian, you have to disavow that with 100% authority. Thank you for letting me answer.
So why couldn't you just say that to begin with, and why did you pivot?
Because you kind of threw me into a little box there, because you like to preface what I was going to say, and you just kept talking and talking.
If you had just said that from the beginning, I would have said thank you, I appreciate that, and we would have moved on. Instead,
I highly doubt that, because you just keep talking.
Instead, you pivoted into something else. Thank you for answering that question. Now, you made a statement about Kamala. Do you want to ask me something about Kamala? Because I don't think this country would be down the shitter, which is what it's in right now, if Kamala had won. And I can give you multiple reasons why, but I'd like you to, ask me something if you think I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, do you think Kamala would even be in the war in Iran?
Absolutely not. First of all, Kamala didn't even want to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu.
She took millions of dollars from AIPAC.
I'm answering your question, right? Couple of things. First of all, Vladimir Putin plays Donald Trump like a puppet, just like Benjamin Netanyahu. If you think that's funny, tell me tell me why I'm wrong on this.
A puppet? Biden was a puppet.
Okay. Well, Biden
getting owned by Kamala.
So Biden's not the president right now, even though I'll still answer your questions about Biden. I'm focused on what's going on in this country right now, not what's happened in the past. Right now, gas prices are through the roof. He did not lower prices on day one when it comes to inflation. In fact, the only thing that's really lowered is eggs. Everything else is up. He said he would end the war within 24 hours. Did he not?
My cortisol is pretty low right now, so those are an all-time low. I would say the only thing that's an all-time high is your cortisol level right now, because you're getting very angry at answering a question about Kamala Harris when
I'll
she
answer
lost.
anything. I'll answer anything. I'm sorry, it's called passion. You know, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So Kamala did lose, and guess what she did?
Yeah.
Something that the guy who you still support, the 34-count felon, liable sexual abuser, who's named thousands of times in the Epstein file.
Allegedly.
No, he was found liable for sexual abuse. That's not allegedly. He was found
Well, is he in prison
liable.
for it?
So he wasn't convicted criminally, but that's not what I said. You need to pay
That's pretty
attention.
important.
Is he a liable sexual abuser? Yes or no?
No.
Well, then what's the point of even having this debate? The earth isn't flat. Donald Trump was found liable of sexual abuse in a court, okay? If you don't know that, that's not my fault. This is why I put you in the category of extremely ill-informed. How do you not know this? He was found liable in a court by a jury of his peers. This isn't an opinion, dude. This is a fact.
I mean, most Americans feel like me in this situation, getting ridiculed by Ivy League people who just have no idea what they're talking about with horrible style, by the way.
Okay, so first of all, you can do ad hominem attacks on my quote-unquote style. Trust me, I don't wake up in the morning and worry about what a 21-year-old mushroom gobbler thinks about my appearance, okay? So now let's get back to the actual
You worry
debate.
about your appearance
Okay.
because you wear a 47 hat and mock the president of the United States. So you
I didn't mock the
clearly care
president.
about yourself.
I didn't mock the president about his appearance. What I'm doing is I'm giving you facts. You just said Donald Trump is not a liable sexual abuser. Would you like to? I'll give you another opportunity to answer.
Yes, she is out sync, but it doesn't matter.
Because this is not making you look good.
Well, my original question, you said you'd answer my question and you didn't because you just pivoted,
But
right? So let's get
Donald
back
Trump
to the
isn't
point.
a liable sexual abuser, though. He's not.
I don't. That's
You
not
don't
the
know.
question.
You
I
don't
was
know.
asking.
Okay. Go ahead. And
Well, and he's not in prison, so I would
didn't say
no.
criminal. Liable doesn't mean criminally, but go ahead.
Well, it was in a civil
Go
court.
ahead.
So
Go ahead.
was
And
it
I'm
in a
sorry
civil
you don't
court?
like my hat. It hurts my feelings.
Was it in a civil court?
He was found, I'll repeat it now for the 6th time, okay? He was found liable for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. 25 women have come forward.
I love how you lecture on compassion and then you degrade me at every answer.
Again, paradox of tolerance.
That's not compassion at all. For the
How did I
sixth
just
time.
degrade you
For
by
the sixth time.
Well, yeah, because I've said it 6 times and you still don't understand what liable means. I never said he was found criminally negligent. I never said he was convicted. I never said he was going to jail.
Usually when you are liable of something, there's repercussions with it, right? What were the repercussions with it?
Money. Are you unaware of all the money he
How
had
much
to pay her?
money was it? How much money?
Millions of dollars.
Oh, because it was a civil court. It wasn't a criminal case, right?
I never said it was criminal. This is why I keep repeating things to you. I never said it was
Yeah.
criminal. I said liable, meaning he had to pay her a lot of money, just like he had to pay off the people for Trump University, that scam. There are 25 women that have come forward that have said Donald Trump has either sexually abused them or raped them, including his ex-wife in a deposition under oath. He's named more times in the Epstein files than Jesus Christ is named in the Bible. That's the guy that you support.
You know, I don't know how that answered my question of how Kamala would be a better leader.
Kamala would be a better leader because we would not be in Iran. Kamala would be a better leader because she would have lowered the tax bracket for middle-class families and those making under $400,000 a year. It was her policy of what she wanted to do.
Wasn't Biden supposed to do that already, though?
You asked me about Kamala. Are we going to talk about Kamala or now you're going to go to Biden? By the way, as the vice president, you're not a policymaker. I'm also going to educate you on that. So going back to Kamala Harris, you asked me, how would the country be better? You know why we wouldn't be at war in Iran? She didn't even want to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you know why? Because she knows how corrupt he is. But Donald Trump does everything that Netanyahu tells him to do. Now, you laughed at me when I said Vladimir Putin.
You are pretty funny.
You laughed at me. Well, thank you. I'm glad I can entertain you. You think I don't think war is funny, by the way, and I don't think when our soldiers.
No, I absolutely don't either, and
good.
I wasn't
I'm
saying
glad,
that, right?
I'm
it's
glad we
more
were
of
on
the
that.
character in front of
I
me,
know,
right?
but
yeah.
But I'm talking about a war, and you're just
No,
saying,
you're
so-
smart.
How many millions of dollars did Kamala take from AIPAC, right? You're saying she's not bought out by
Okay.
Israel at all,
Okay,
right?
so
So
first
what?
of all,
How much was it? Do
when-
you know the number?
When did I say she was not bought out by Israel?
You
When did we
said
talk about that?
she wouldn't go into the war in Iran, and she would be
You asked
essentially
me-
alluding that
Okay,
she wouldn't
so
support
you asked
Israel.
me why you think the country would be in a better position if
It's $45 million,
right?
by the
way. You
way.
asked me?
It's $45 million.
So you want to talk about corruption? I'm glad you brought that up, my friend. I'm glad you brought
absolutely.
that up.
$45 million
How much
Kamala
money?
Harris
Sure.
received from AIPAC. So you're
Gotcha.
saying she
So let's
wouldn't
talk
go.
about that.
You're saying she
I
wouldn't.
don't know what APAC is, but I've heard that argument. But let's see more.
Talk to Netanyahu, but
Well,
clearly
she
she was able to
it.
take money from their PAC.
I'm not saying it. So if you care about corruption, which you claim you do, right, and you're claiming that Kamala basically stole $45 million, I'm wondering, how do you feel about Donald Trump making billions of dollars off of his crypto? Do you have a problem with that at all?
Well, Donald Trump took $200 million from AIPAC, so I'm not saying he's any less corrupt.
Who do you think
from
is more
getting
corrupt?
From a foreign
let's ask
lobby.
you. Who do you think has made more money and is more corrupt, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Is corruption just tied with money, or can
Please
it
answer my
can it
question.
be unsolicited acts?
Please answer
because
my
Kamala
question.
Harris
Please
was a
answer my-
horrible, corrupt
Okay.
politician.
Yep.
By the way.
So Kamala is a horrible, corrupt politician.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yet the guy who accepts a $400 million jet from terrorists, the guy who has a
You're saying the whole country of Qatar is terrorists? That's pretty racist, Brian.
Okay, I'm not
No, he's saying the leaders, obviously.
racist at all. In fact, the guy
that sounds pretty racist if you're saying he accepted it from terrorists.
You can make
terrorists have $400 billion.
Okay, so let me ask you: the government,
it's unbelievable.
The government that killed Khashoggi, okay, the government that we know killed Khashoggi, okay, gave Donald Trump a $400 million gift, a $5.5 billion resort. He has literally made billions of dollars off of this crypto scandal, which I'm not sure that you're aware of. But yet you want to call Kamala the person who
Big
was
fan of Trump coin. Big fan of Trump coin.
I bet you are. You probably have his Trump Bibles too, right?
Okay, well,
Now taxes is a TurboTax expert. Doing it all for you. While you do more of
anyways, yeah, this is what I expected from a Turn Point USA person. I wouldn't say he has 15 IQ because otherwise he wouldn't even be able to talk. Like, if we're going by literal sense, like the worst your IQ could be when you're functioning somewhat is like a something. Anyways, bye.